Belarus. Right here? Right. Belarus. My family's from Belarus. Right next to Poland. Okay.
We're good? Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order. This meeting is called in pursuant to the provisions of Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of March 14th, 2023, with instructions for internet access, was included in a meeting notice sent to the Burlington County Times and Courier Post on January 4th. 2023, and advertised in said newspaper January 6, 2023, and January 10, 2003, respectively. Posted on the website and the bulletin board in the municipal building on January 4, 2023. It has remained continuously posted as required under statute. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Can we all stand for the flag salute?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, can we get a roll call, please?
Yes, Mayor Klaus.
Yes, here.
Mr. Montgomery.
Yes.
Mr. Levinson.
Here.
Mrs. Gilmore. Here. Mrs. Evans.
Yes.
Okay, minutes. Can we get an approval for the regular minutes, committee minutes of February 14th, 2023?
Motion to approve?
Second. Mr. Levinson.
Yes.
Mrs. Evans.
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore.
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery.
Yes.
Mayor Klaus.
Yes. Can we get a motion to approve the executive session minutes of February 14th, 2023?
So moved?
Second?
Mr. Montgomery.
Yes.
Mr. Levinson.
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore.
Yes.
Mrs. Evans.
Yes.
Mayor Klaus.
Yes. On the reports, can we take them all together?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we just need a motion to accept all the reports, the tax collector, code enforcement, fire official, construction, emergency services, and the New Jersey State Police in-person report. And we'll, before we take that motion, we will see if Sergeant has any comments. Great.
Jerry, I had some things for I had some comments to make.
Good evening, everyone. Nothing significant to report. The same, issues with, it's statewide, issues with thefts. So we just ask, be cognizant of it, common sense. Don't leave things that are valuable in plain view in your cars, things of that nature. Also, we received a letter for Community Day, and we're in the process of getting that ready.
Great.
And we'll be here for the Easter event on April 1st.
Great.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Patrick's Day.
Okay, so do we have a motion to accept the reports?
So moved. Second?
Okay, do we have any comments on these reports from the committee members?
I'm good.
No?
with the reports.
I have a question. We seem to be missing one from the emergency squad again. Is there some kind of a problem? Can we reach out and
I will reach out
Yes,
and
please.
follow up. Sure, absolutely.
thank you?
Okay, with that, can we get a vote?
Yes. Mrs. Gilmore.
Yes.
Mr. Levinson.
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery.
Yes.
Mrs. Evans.
Yes.
Mayor Klaus.
Yes. Okay, we have a presentation for Farmland Preservation Program for block discussion or a presentation in reference to Block 110, Lot 9 on Ark Road. Paula, could you enlighten us on that?
Yeah, I'm going to defer this to John.
Okay.
I've never, this is my first experience with
Okay.
this type
Yeah.
of correspondence.
And John, we know it's Ark Road. If there's, I don't know if there's any cross street or anything nearby, I'm just.
Ark Road, there
Yeah.
isn't much cross.
Much there, yeah, I know it's out there, but I don't know, what's it near, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, so the basic premise is this, that, the county seeks properties to include within the Farmland Preservation Program. Property owners, it's a voluntary program, so they can't force them into farmland preservation. They basically work with them and decide whether or not it's something they want to do. You know, the role of the governing body is simply to say, we support this or we don't support this. The bottom line is there's no contribution from the township on these programs. And effectively what they'll do is if this moves forward, they'll value the property as developable under underlying zoning, and then they'll value the property as farmland, and that's the value of the farmland preservation easement that they pay to the property owner, right? And then the property stays in preservation and farmland, just always farmed.
So this doesn't require any vote from us, we just have to say yea or nay?
Well, it does, in the sense that there's an attachment, and you're asked to say, we support the effort to preserve this farm, or we do not support it. And either way, if you support it and you have any comments, you can include them. If you don't support it and you have comments as to why not, you can include them.
And it said we had 30 days, John, but there was no date on the letter. When did, I mean,
Oh, boy.
I'm assuming we're within the 30 days, but
You are probably within it, but you won't be at the April meeting.
I had a feeling, yeah.
So do we have action on this tonight?
Yeah, so the
Okay.
question is, if you're okay with this, a motion to tell them that you support it would be appropriate. And if you're against it, a motion to say you're not in support of it.
I mean,
would be-
preserving farmland sounds like a darn good idea to me, as most of our homes may have been built on farmland, and,
Yeah, and our code is
yeah.
very suitable for that
yeah,
anyway, so.
for sure. I mean, it doesn't sound like it's going to cost anything, just sounds like.
All right, can we get a motion on?
I'll make a motion to that.
Second,
Is that a motion to authorize it to be
Support,
supported?
authorize support of this.
Authorize support
Okay.
on making it, on preserving that piece of property for farmland.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes. Okay, now we got comments from the public, agenda items only, and I'm going to ask all committee people to give everybody their full 5 minutes, and then we'll address any issues at our closing. Anybody have any comments on agenda? Yes?
Good evening, Deborah Harris, 7 Elsinore Drive. My comment is in regards to item 9, so if you turn your page over, Resolution 2023-50-3. I looked at this authorization for release, and my comment is not specifically on this authorization, but I noticed that there's a number of LLCs that are named on the document. And my comment is that I'm hoping that when these LLCs are approaching either the Joint Land Use Board or the Township for their development, that in the conflict, that there is a conflict check of the membership of these LLCs. That concludes my comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any other public comments on agenda items? With that, we're going to close public comment on agenda items. Okay, now we're going to take on the ordinances. Let's do ordinance 2023-1 to provide for domestic rate of composition for office officials and employees. We're going to do these one at a time, right?
The ordinances?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
No, isn't this the public hearing?
This is a motion to open it to the public?
Yes.
Yes,
Do we have a motion?
to open it to the public,
Yes.
because it's a public hearing.
Okay. Do we need a second?
Yes.
Yes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. All right, let's open the public. Any comments on this ordinance? With no comments on the ordinance, do we have to vote on this?
A motion to close the public comment?
What's that?
Motion to close
wait,
the public.
Kitty?
Catherine, right now it's 407 Bischoff Avenue. I'd just like to know, you have a copy here of all the, how much money everybody gets from this to that. Is this an actual, you don't have the actual salary each person is getting on here? All you have is the lowest and the highest? Is that how it is?
The ranges.
You don't have to show what people are getting anymore?
You have to adopt the ordinance first, and then there'll be a resolution later establishing what the 2023,
You use the mic, I can't hear you.
sorry, let me do it? Sure. Yeah. This is the ordinance that predates or precedes the resolution that will establish the individual 2023 compensation. So the ordinance establishes a range for each position, and then when committee considers the resolution, that resolution will have the specific dollar figure for 2023.
Okay.
Okay, any more comments on this ordinance? Okay, with that, do we get a motion and a second to close public comment?
do.
Okay, do I have a motion to close public comment?
Motion to close
Second.
public comment.
Okay.
All in favor is fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. All right,
Do
ordinance.
they need a motion
You need a
to
motion to
approve
adopt.
the
Okay.
ordinance?
All right, do we have a motion?
Motion,
We have a
motion
motion?
to adopt the ordinance 2023-2.
Second.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes. Okay, can I get a motion on the ordinance 2023-2 to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limit and establish a cap bank? I'm sorry, public hearing, okay. To open a public hearing, yes.
A motion to open a public hearing.
Second?
Okay, any public comment on this ordinance? With that, I will close, we need a motion to close? public
Motion to
comment?
close?
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, then I would need a motion to adopt ordinance 2023-2.
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes, okay. These are consent agendas. Item 8, they're listed, Resolution 2023-47-3, 2023-48-3, and 2049-3.
Yeah, I had a comment on the first one.
Well, let's get a motion and open it up for comments. We have a motion on these, to accept them together.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we'll open it up for comment.
Okay, great, thank you. Just the comment, we're acknowledging and admitting the list of volunteer members for the Hainesport Fire Company and the Emergency Squad. I was just so pleased to see that there were 25 firefighters, 12 fire police, 19 emergency squad members, and then an additional 4 on probation and 3 cadets. I just thought that was great. So nice to see those big numbers. And just again, they're volunteers. However, the township does provide a necessary insurance coverage to both of those. So I just wanted to point that out, and, good job, and our townspeople and whoever else is volunteering, and appreciate your support in helping us.
Okay, is there any more committee comments on this? Okay, we get a vote?
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes. Okay, Resolution 2023-50-3, authorizing the release of Hainesport Commerce Urban Renewal LLC performance bond. Can we get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any comments?
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes. Okay, business license, approval of business licenses. Do we need a vote on this?
You do.
Yes. Okay, can we get a motion on approving the business licenses?
So moved?
Second.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes, okay. All right, we're opening the public comment on anything you'd like to talk about. You're limited to 5 minutes. I will ask all committee members to not intervene and address the issues afterwards. So, anybody have anything to say? Yes, Kitty, come on up.
Catherine McNeil, 407 Bischoff. I was the president of the senior citizens for quite a while, and I had to let somebody else take it because I've had a lot of surgery and a lot of problems, so.
Sorry to hear that.
But this senior citizen club has been in Hainesport Township since 1988. And
You've been a senior since 1988? I'm sorry, I was just kidding, sorry.
we never had too many problems. I wasn't in there in the beginning. Most of the people who were in there have actually passed away because they were all in their 90s. And today, it's not as easy to get people to join because younger people don't seem to want to get into this stuff, but we're getting a lot of people coming in recently. But we've been having a lot of problems with the building. I'd like to have something straightened out. They keep telling me, Leila, Paula, that the street building is a community center and not a senior center. But we had the Bush Building. I wasn't here then, but the Bush Building was for the seniors. We had all our equipment in there, all the things we used, and Mr. Silverstein, I think he was the administrator at the time, decided he wanted to use the school building for offices for himself. So the township moved the senior citizens over to the street building. Now, I'm just trying to give you a little history. Now, when we moved into the street building, to my knowledge, we were never told, this is not allowed to be used, that can't be used, this isn't yours, that isn't yours. We used the whole building, all the closets. So we had Paula Tiver as our recreation person. We never had any problems. If there was something come up, we'd discuss it with her, that would be it. Then we got Donna Casey. All of a sudden, the street building is the Donna Casey building. She decides everything that goes on in there, and she threw a lot of our stuff away. Actually, $75 worth of carafes that I personally bought, she threw in the trash. The least she could have done was said, these are the things I was going to throw away. Is there a reason I shouldn't? I told her before she even looked, give me a day and a time, and I will be there, and we will go through all the closets, bring them down as far as we can, and give you whatever you need. She never called me. She just went ahead, threw all our silverware away now. They said it was moldy. How does stainless steel get moldy? Just laying there with nobody using it for 2 years. Because that's what happened with the epidemic. Nobody was even allowed in the building for a long time. You weren't allowed to share food. So we didn't use any of that stuff. And she threw it away because it was moldy. I don't understand it. I asked one time, was she going to pay for it or the township? And everybody just looked at me like I had 5 eyes or something. But now it's to the point where no matter what we do, we're told it's not a senior citizen building. There was a table in the front that Bruce McLaughlin forgets, but he built it. I was there when he presented it to Ginny, who was the president at the time. Asked us if we were happy with it, and we told him we were. What was nice, it was Formica. You could wash it off, no matter what people did on it. It was perfect for putting food on. It was clean, always clean. It was removed because Donna said it was too big, in her way. Oh. So then we were told we were going to have 2 tables to be put up there so we could put our stuff on it. And I asked several times about the tables, and I was told that the one was damaged, and they were sent back, and then we were waiting for the new ones. Well, there was never any new ones. We're still waiting. This is 2 years later. We have one closet that was ours. Donna had to have half of it. She's got maybe 3 or 4 boxes in there. I have pictures if you want to see them. Our side has stuff left over from our yard sale that we thought we might be able to sell again the next year. And around this time, we start bringing everything we can to see if we're going to have enough for a yard sale. Well, if you looked in the closet right now, there's chairs. Whole empty side for Donna with her 3 little boxes. But our side is pushed all in the back and all chairs leaning in there. When I asked her why the chairs couldn't be put out and leaned against the wall like they usually were, I don't like that. The room was set up for a meeting like this with chairs and a table in the front. When we came in for our meeting, it was still like that. And we asked Public Works what's going on, and they said they were told by Donna that she liked that. So, you know.
Well, with that, would you like a meeting with Donna and the
I-
administrator? Would you like to do
I'd like
that?
a meeting with Mr. Montgomery, though. He's the
Well,
liaison for the seniors now.
I think we should,
Doesn't help to talk. I told Donna, come,
okay, well,
you know, I'll do anything I can. And
Donna's not here to represent herself, so if we can set up a meeting with Paula and we can get this resolved, the end result is we'd like it resolved.
Well, we have to do something, because we would like to be able to put stuff in that closet right now, so, because we're getting ready for our yard sale in the spring. And we have, the thing is, nobody ever told us, you can't do this, you can't, until Donna
Well,
took
we're
it.
not going to resolve that tonight, but
Maybe
let's
we
work
can
on our
talk this
resolution.
over here somewhere.
Let's work on a resolution. I'll talk to Paula, and can she get in touch with you and we find out what's going on?
You
So-
can get in touch with Tish Kelly, who is the president.
Okay.
I've had that,
Don't do that.
I've been reminded of that.
Because I'm at a loss, I don't know everything
But I am
with
a
this, but
member.
let's resolve it, okay?
I would really appreciate
Okay,
something.
we'll do that.
Because we really feel like we're second-class citizens.
Well, you're not.
I've been paying
You're valued
taxes for
citizens.
38 years. I've owned my house.
Okay.
My parents had it for 30 years before that. Well, my street alone, there was 6 houses for 60-some years. 4 of them houses were senior citizens. I'd just like to know how much money is in taxes is generated from the seniors, and why we can't have that, a lot of that building, because everybody else, playground, everything, ball fields, walkways, everything, anything.
Okay,
All we
we're-
ask for is a closet and a meeting, and that our table be left alone.
All right, we're going to set up a meeting to resolve this. I'm trying to keep everybody to 5 minutes, so I understand your concern, and we will work together to get this taken care of. Thank you
Very
Kitty.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kitty.
Okay, any other comments from the public?
Is this for general matters or only?
General matters, yes.
Not a bit at a time. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of council. My name is Ken Pipes. I live at 35 Mount Laurel Road. I've been there for 24 years. I'm your neighbor.
I like your greenhouses. Go ahead.
I've gone over in my head what I was going to say tonight. My wife cautioned me not to be angry, though I am. Not to be accusatory, though I think I need to. But I attended the Beacon of Hope Land Use Planning Board meeting a little over a month ago, and what I witnessed deeply disturbed me. As a nonprofit housing development organization, I've appeared before the Land Use Board in this township.
Can I interrupt you for a minute?
Yes.
I'm going to reference John on this, because if there's an appeal, it has to come to us, so we're limited to what we can know.
No, he can comment. You just
Okay,
don't
okay.
respond.
Thank you. Okay.
Hey, John, didn't
How
realize
you
you were
doing?
here. I appeared before the Land Use Board in this township for a piece of property behind, was on downtown Hainesport, the old part of Hainesport, was denied by the planning board. The land use planner, though I used, was your current planner. Find it interesting that she was on my side that night, and it appears to be your planner's firm is on the township side in regards to this application. Curious switch. But I detect in that land use board some bias and some bigotry. Let me tell you how it affects me. When I went home that night, I looked at the addresses of the people on the land use board, and I was shocked. 3 members of that board are living on the same street as the former mayor. How did they get on the board? The old good old boy system.
white privilege, middle class, upper middle class mentality predominated that board meeting. And I got to tell you, nobody on that board lives in my neighborhood, east and north. They're all in that neighborhood south of 38 and in the senior development to its east, other than you who live down my street. Now, we can't control who votes for who in an election, but I certainly expect that a governing body should determine that everybody in town needs to be represented. We don't have diversity in this town. 93+% of the people in Hainesport are white. Very few people are poor. And for Pastor Darlene to come into this town seeking to serve the general population throughout Burlington County and find what I consider to be the bigotry of that land use board, and hear the voices that were questioning her from the members of that board, and hear the comments and the groans from the audience sitting in back, I'm ashamed to say I live in Hainesport, and I'm sorry, but I pay taxes here like you do. And I think we need to be representative of all the people who live in this town, all people who live in this county, and serve their needs. And I got to tell you, if that board votes her application down, the courts in Burlington County will overturn it in a heartbeat, just like Judge Bookbinder did with my application when I was turned down. Now, we didn't build the housing because the Reverend sold the property out from underneath us, and I couldn't get back to the planning board for approvals. But I'm ashamed of the attitude that I heard that night. And I would encourage you to look at the membership of that board and begin to change it so Hainesport becomes a place for all of us. Yes, I'm a liberal Democrat, and I know most of you are not. And I thought there would never be a Democrat on the council, but I'm glad to see we finally have one. But I thank God that maybe things are changing. But in my opinion, they're not changing fast enough. And I would encourage you, I want to be positive, I want to be encouraging, to say, help us make Hainesport a place for all of us, and a place that can say we have a heart for people in need, rather than shutting our door and saying, sorry, but you can't get food and clothing and services in our town because you're poor and you're black and Hispanic. This is an opportunity for us to change the image and the nature of our town. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other public comment? Deborah Harris, come on up. Well, you had it first, so you're good.
Kitty already talked.
Huh?
Kitty already talked.
Yeah.
Deborah Harris, 7 Elsinore Drive. For the record, at the February 2023 meeting, I was misquoted in regards to my Wawa comments and attributed to have said things that I didn't actually say, so just want to clarify that for the record. Mr. Gillespie always does a really good job of quoting me, by the way. At the February 2023 meeting, again, my public comment ran 4 minutes and 20 seconds. I did take some questions. I would say the other speakers 9 minutes and 5 minutes 28 seconds. We were also over, sorry. So clearly, while the comments are being monitored for timeliness, that it's really discretionary and almost discriminatory. So I would caution against chilling First Amendment rights. And I know that we heard a little bit about seniors, but I'm very involved in the school. My husband and I are active in the PTO, and they just recently had Reading as Fundamental Week and finished their second book fair. There may be a third. It's to be determined. It's a buy one, get one free. So I had the fortunate opportunity to volunteer at all the book fairs, as well as doing some reading in the classroom. The biggest PTO fundraiser is coming up. It is their annual basket raffle. It's on Saturday, March 25th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the school cafeteria. There's some really great baskets. All the classes got together and put together some great baskets, as well as the community. So I would encourage any of you to just take a ride up there and maybe do a raffle in support of the school, because again, it's their biggest fundraiser and it's their most important one. And that's it for my comments. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Just pointing out that I've got 2 minutes left.
Is there anybody else to first speak? Okay, Katie, you can come back up.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
That's okay.
I was just wondering if I could find out exactly why our meetings were taken out of the calendar. They've been in there ever since the calendar existed, and all of a sudden, our meetings were left out, and it wasn't because they were forgotten, from what I understand. And a lot of our seniors use them calendars like for trash pickup and recycle, and when our meetings were.
Well, what we'll do is we'll discuss that during our meeting, and we'll find out. And if if they were taken out and it's a misjustice, we'll see what we can do about it. Obviously, they're printed, but we'll find out. I can't answer that question now, but let us research it and find out why.
That was one of the reasons why we felt like we were really being
Okay.
mistreated.
It's a good question.
I mean, you know,
No, we don't want you mistreated. You guys are valued members of society, so we're going to do what we can for you. Okay, anybody else for public comment? Okay.
Gary, it's Bruce McLaughlin.
Okay. Bruce, go ahead and speak up. We're good.
Bruce McLaughlin, 33 Easton Way, Hainsport. I have to take exception to Kent Pipe's characterization of the planning board. Over the years, we have put Democrats and Republicans on the planning board, but you have to apply for it. You have to send a letter. To just act like the municipality just randomly picks planning board members is just not an accurate characterization. So I would encourage anybody that looks to get on the planning board to write a letter to the mayor and the committee requesting that appointment. And we have had many Democrats on the planning board over the years, so that is just not an accurate characterization. And that's my comment.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, are there any other public comments? Come on up, Ed.
Good evening. My name's Ed Maroney. I'm from 122 Mount Laurel Road in Hainsport. And I know it's time for the budget in Hainsport to come up. And I just wanted to say thanks to the past committee for being responsible for our tax dollars. Our surrounding towns, as you know, are drowning in millions and millions of dollars in debt. Hainsport is free from debt. This helps us all in town by keeping our taxes down and money in our pockets. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other public comments? With that, I will be closing public comment, and we will move on to comments from the administrator.
Thank you. New Jersey DEP revised their municipal stormwater permitting requirements and redesignated 101 towns to their Tier A permitting program. Because Hainsport was an existing Tier A town, we are eligible for a $25,000 grant to offset some of the costs that we are now going to be facing with these new regulations. With these new regs, some of the examples of things that we're going to now have to do, we do have a couple years to get into compliance. However, these are, obviously cost prohibitive changes to the regs. We will be required to street sweep our local roadways now 3 times a year and dispose of that debris accordingly. In addition, we're going to have to update our stormwater map, our best practices, as well as look at all of our stormwater outfall pipes and our stormwater program. So these are going to be obviously things that are going to affect our budget in the future, but I do want to thank Environmental Commission Chair Janice Ludden for sending me an email letting me know about the grant opportunity. We do have some time, but we definitely will be taking advantage of the $25,000 grants to help get us into compliance.
At this point, we're not sure that'll be able to cover the cost of compliance.
It will not cover the cost of
Okay.
compliance, but it'll help offset.
Okay, great. Thanks, Paul.
Welcome. And I just wanted to remind the community of the various ways to participate in and watch our committee meetings. They can be watched live on YouTube. Just search Township of Hainesport on YouTube. And the meeting link will remain on the Township's page on YouTube as well as the municipal website. So if you go to the Hainesport website, click on the committee page, and then on the left-hand side, you click on the committee meeting videos. You will have a link to every single Township committee meeting since we've started the YouTube Live platform, which was several years ago. You can also participate in the meetings via the GoToMeeting platform or in person. And I have to say, the majority of municipalities in New Jersey, now that the COVID requirements have really substantially been lifted, have discontinued the online opportunity for their residents to participate in the meeting. So we've kept that, I think, in virtue of transparency and getting as much participation as possible. And then just to remind everybody that having the meeting videos available will allow residents to view the meetings themselves and to ensure the accuracy of information that may be passed on to other platforms. So if there's ever a question about anything that is stated at a meeting, you can always go back and click on those video links, and that is in perpetuity. So with this, I just wanted to express to the residents that as the administrator, it is my duty to ensure that accurate, factual information is conveyed and available to you at all times and through various means. So open or unanswered questions or manufactured narratives will be addressed and corrected moving forward. And on a much lighter note, and to hand the baton over, I was thumbing through the South Jersey Biz magazine, and I stumbled upon an announcement that our very own John Gillespie is the vice chair now of the Virtua Health Foundation Board of Trustees. Congratulations, John. And it is not lost on me that it was in the top women to watch episode of the South Jersey Biz magazine. You are worthy to be in the same magazine, just saying.
I do have a sensitive side.
Okay, well, let's get the,
And that is okay.
I guess we'll get the comments from the solicitor now.
Thank you, appreciate that. Really, just a couple of things. One, there was a statement made during preliminary public comment about Resolution 2023-50-3, releasing a performance guarantee, and the comment was that there were a number of LLCs mentioned in the resolution. Unless I've misread it, there is only one LLC mentioned in the resolution, Hainesport Commerce Center Urban Renewal LLC. It is mentioned twice, but it is only one LLC that is mentioned. So I think for purposes of correcting the record, the resolution only references one LLC. The statement was inaccurate. Two, I just don't want to leave on the table something Kent said, that the planner who was on his side when he appeared before the Joint Land Use Board now has her firm or his firm on the township side. Planners aren't on sides. Right? In fairness to the planner, planners aren't on sides. Planners review master plans, they review ordinances, and they offer their opinions with regard to planning issues. They're bound by their own code of ethics, and I just think that to leave that thought out there, that the planner has taken a side. I'm not going to comment on audience comments during Joint Land Use Board hearings. I'm not there. I don't know what they are, and people can draw their own conclusions, and the record will reflect whatever they were, I suppose. But I think it's just an unfair generalization to say that the planner was on one side at one point and then on the township side this time. So I just wanted that clear. And then the last thing, and equally important, everyone have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day, and for the rest of the month, a wonderful St. Patrick's month.
Nice, thanks. Okay, we're going to move on to comments from the committee. We'll start on the left with Committeewoman Evans.
Thank you. So I have continued to attend commissioners' meetings. I went on the 22nd of February and the 8th of March, and happily I want to share that they are putting in for a Green Acres grant to improve Longbridge Park. If you did not know, that will be at no cost to the township, I believe. This weekend I attended the New Jersey League of Municipalities seminar on budgeting for elected officials, so I can't wait to get my teeth into the budget next month. I've also continued to hold my office hours on Tuesdays here at the Township meeting building from 2 to 4. And I really enjoyed going to the Hainesport School Talent Show last Friday, held at RV. It was a delight to see all of the talent that our wonderful school children have. I just want to address the Joint Land Use Board comments from Kent Pipes and Bruce McLaughlin just a little bit. I wasn't at those meetings, so I can't say anything about the tenor of what was said, like Mr. Gillespie, but I have previously had conversations with the mayor about trying to get more diversity of districts represented on that board. Now, we're dealing with what we inherited, obviously, because it's the mayor who nominates people for the board, but I know that the mayor is in agreement, and this has nothing to do with being a Democrat or a Republican, by the way. This is about getting people onto the JLUB from other districts. Kent, you identified District 3 and District 2 as being disproportionately represented on the JLUB, and I agree with that. I think we need some more people from 1 and 4 in particular. So hopefully that's something we can address going forward. I think one thing that can be done is we can actually let it be known that there are vacancies coming up, which I think we've been poor at doing, and then maybe people will send in those letters to apply for those positions. And apart from that, I would just like to wish everyone a happy St. Paddy's Day.
Okay, Ken? Oh, no, let's go to Bruce.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to talk about Hanesport's taxes and our budget coming up. Our past committees, with the help of our professionals, have managed to responsibly control residential taxes. And I'm proud to say that out of 40 municipalities in Burlington County, our residential tax rate is the 35th lowest. The other major point I want to make is that those with lower rates, they have large commercial bases, or stated differently, many taxable business addresses relative to their population. The taxes generated from business addresses of all kinds benefit not the few, but the many. I hope that in the future, we will seek all types of businesses which generate revenue for our town, revenue that our town can use to pay its bills. Remember, if Hainesport expenses begin to exceed its revenues, we must do one of three things: reduce services, increase taxes, or the one that I vote for, bring in more taxable business addresses. Thank you.
Okay, Leila?
Hi, thank you for coming out in this awful, awful night of wind and cold and threat of snow. I just wanted to say I too, I'm excited about looking into the new budget, and I'm thrilled to know that we will be debt-free in '23. It's a great achievement. I hope we can stay that way for just a little bit. Pushing it too far. I did want to point out that on the 23rd at the senior meeting, there will be a demonstration, a speech, talk on fire and safety for your home. This is being given jointly by the Sheriff's Department. They're going to come in and offer their services, go over some safety hints, and they provide peepholes, they check locks, they'll check the general safety of your home, make suggestions, and provide certain things. And George Myers, our fire inspector, will be there also to let the community know about the services that we offer here. And we try to do these types of things in conjunction with the senior citizens meeting to allow them to partake and have other seniors from throughout the community come and see that they have a meeting there and that there is this group available if they so desire to join. On April 1st, the Easter Bunny will be arriving by fire truck, and that always is a great day and a big photo opportunity. So bring your children, bring your cameras, and come and have some fun. The 22nd is Earth Day. It's a Saturday. It's for all ages. We have everything from a master gardener will be there. There'll be representatives from a children's nature school. I heard something about goats. Games, recycling projects. ShopRite has an Earth Day challenge kit that will be given out, and all kinds of other things to do with taking care of investing in our planet Earth. And just to swing into it, coming forward, we're working on a joint project with the Hainesport School, collecting plastic that's not the shopping bags, all the plastic, and that's not recyclable in our cans at the house. The things that, those awful skinny yellow plastic bags that they put your newspapers in. The plastic that's around the soda water bottle things, the harder plastic.
Would caps count?
No.
Okay.
These items are going to be collected, weighed, and sent in, and we're hoping to have a buddy bench produced from these items that Trex does, and it'll be at the school. We're going to work on it township-wide. They'll be collecting it at the school. They'll be collecting it at the township building. And it's a 6-month period, but you can start hoarding it away now. I believe it's going to start in September, but we hope to get started with a large amount of the product, and there'll be more information coming forward on it. There'll be a flyer, there'll be, things will go out on the app, on the website, through the school, through the PTO, that type of thing. So we're all working together as a community to get this done, and I think it's a worthwhile project, and the Buddy Bench, I know has become a big thing at school, where a child that feels that they need a friend, and they're feeling that they just don't have one and need it at that time. And I just think it's a great thing to have.
Okay, thank you. Ken?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to say again, I'm happy about the farmland preservation. I'm happy to see the volunteers increase at the fire and emergency squads. Was happy to see that the talent show came back again to Hainesport after a couple of years in hiatus. I have four daughters who attended Hainesport K through 8, and then RV, and have fond memories of that. Hopefully we can get the plays up and running again at the Hainesport School as well. I want to thank Bruce Levinson for just going over some of the figures. He said the 35 lowest, so that means we're in the top 5. And the fact that we have no debt. And I wanted to thank one of the citizens for mentioning that and acknowledging that, that not just so much us here, but the ones before us, that it's a lot of work, and it's also not the people here, but the people that work at the township, our clerk and our assistant clerk and everyone else. The work that they do is just tremendous, and that's really, everyone should be applauding that, because no debt is a wonderful thing. June 5th is a 5K run, so you can get started. You can do it. You can do it. So I just want to encourage people to do that, and I am wearing my shamrock tie today. I have quite a bit of Irish heritage, so I want to wish Happy St. Patrick's Day to all my Irish brethren, and all those who wish they were. Everyone's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. That's good. And God bless Hainesport. Thank you.
Okay, with that, hope everybody can make it to the April 1st Easter egg hunt. That's a good event. Not sure I have a surprise shower for my daughter that day, so I'm supposed to bring her. So don't tell my daughter her shower's on April 1st, okay? And I want to thank you all for coming out. I want to thank Sergeant Antonucci for coming out and always keeping us informed and keeping us enlightened on, how we can stay safe. We should all take his advice and be aware of what's going on. I really appreciate it. On a little heavier note, I want to announce I regret the passing of one of our former life members of our fire department, Chief George Curry. Chief Curry was an active member of Hainesport Fire Company. He served as a fire chief from 1971 to 1985. He served the residents of Hainesport Township from the 60s through to the early 90s. So we'll all miss him, and please think about him. He was a lifelong member of Hainesport, which makes Hainesport great. So with that, I'm going to say, keep your thoughts with the fire department, and anything you can do for them, please stop by and ask them. All righty, so with that, we got to pay bills. Yes?
May
Yes.
I interrupt? I apologize. I do need to request to add a purchase order to the bill list.
Okay.
It is for our New Jersey DOT, the grant fund that we received for the resurfacing of Pulaski, Fenimore, and Laurel Ridge roads. We have to have a highway occupancy permit in order to do Laurel Ridge Road because it abuts Route 38. So this is for $395. It'll be purchase order number 23-00155. New Jersey DOT, again, for $395, and it's for the highway occupancy permit.
Okay, can I get a motion to add that to the bill list?
Motion to add it to the bill list.
Second.
Okay, vote?
Aye.
Was it aye, or did they roll call on this?
Your motion, is this just the motion to add it to the?
Yes.
bill list?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye. Perfect.
Now a motion to approve the bill list.
Okay, now we can get a motion to approve the bill list.
So move.
Second.
I had a comment real quick, I do this every so often, in the bill list, over $1.1 million of the taxes collected from all of us goes to our Hainesport School and to our regional high school. So again, the percentage that we pay in our taxes is very small to the municipality. A lot of it is to our schools. And I'm not complaining about it, I'm just acknowledging and just want to make sure everyone knows that that's a lot of where our tax dollars are going. So it's a good cause, so thank you. Okay,
Mrs.
roll-
Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes. Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, that was quick.
Mrs. Evans?
Yes.
Mr. Levinson?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Montgomery?
Yes.
Mayor Klaus?
Yes, we're adjourned.
Thank you.
So Ken, does that mean I can start running now and I get all the way to?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Right?
So are you
Because it
signed
would
up,
take
Ken?
me that long.
I am
get
not, I
that
have to
file.
sign up.
I'm signed up.
Are you?
I'm already,
I'm proud of you. We talked about this because you've been running.
Look,
That's it.
I walked the parking lot.